Welcome to Undressing Intimacy, where we cut through the bullshit
Greggy,
so we can get naked.
you can't say that.
Why not? How would you say it then?
Well, maybe more like, welcome to Undressing Intimacy, where we undress emotionally so we can undress physically.
That's exactly what I said. Not sure what the problem is. Welcome to episode number
100.
100. We made it. Woohoo! And we are about to celebrate. Are you ready? Amy doesn't even know how we're going to celebrate.
No, like we talked about a lot of ideas and then Greg did his secreting thing and he has a secret and I don't know about it.
I did not secreting. All right. First of all, before we want to let you know, we have an offer for all of you to celebrate our 100 episodes.
We're being sharers.
That's right. So what we're going to do is we'll put a link in this podcast. If you go to that link in that podcast, then you can sign up with your email address and receive a coupon for 25% off
an entire package.
Yep.
So that is a $225 value. You'll get 6 sessions for $225 less.
Yes, we're excited about that. And then once that is all done, we will pick one lucky person from all of y'all and we'll give you 3 free sessions.
A $450 value.
That's right.
So you can come meet with us and learn with us, and we'll have 3 sessions to work these things out.
So go up to langfordlifecoaching.com/100. That's for our 100 episodes, and sign up there and we'll send you a coupon.
It's going to be so amazing.
We're excited. We're excited. All right. Are you ready, babe?
I guess. I don't know what to be ready for. Oh.
So today, to celebrate our 100th episode, we are going to play a game. And the game we're going to play is Who Said It?
Oh, dear.
Greg or Amy? And this game, actually, I am going to post this game with that email up on our website so you all can play the game if you want. But we're going to play the game today and see who said it. And what this is do is I went back through all of our episodes, starting episode number 1 to episode 99, because we haven't recorded 100. We're doing it right now. And it pulled out great quotes from each of us. And we're going to take turns guessing who said what.
All right.
And then I think we'll take a little second and talk about what it is, so we can go through all the topics that we did over the 99 episodes that we've posted. How's that sound?
Sounds fun. Let's go for it.
We're going to put in, we'll let Amy go first. I'm going to put Amy in here. And then I won't capitalize my name because I didn't capitalize yours. You all can't see this, but it don't matter.
It's on a screen over here.
All right. Go ahead. Read the first quote.
Okay, the first quote is, sexuality is like a barometer of the rest of our lives. If you do anything out of duty, there will be no joy.
Who said that? Was that Greg Langford or was that Amy Langford?
I think it was me.
Oh, are we ready?
I love that
Who was it?
it was you.
It was Greg. Look at that. She's like, oh, that's a smart little quote there. It must have been me. What episode? What episode was that in?
We did it.
Episode 92.
92 on purity culture, autonomy, and healthy sexuality. And I mean, it is true. If you do anything out of duty, there'll be no joy. So
yeah, we oftentimes see that when you do that stuff out of duty, you can do it for a little while, but only one thing happens, and that's obligation. And there's only one result from obligation, which is resentment.
And that is in the erotic sexuality bucket of marriage. There is some room for duty in the domestic bucket of marriage that doesn't produce resentment. For example, your duty to your children, or your duty to your country, or your duty to your work. That can actually be like healthy sense of duty. But in the erotic, so in the sexual realm, duty just destroys, because there has to be freedom.
I think there is a difference between duty and obligation, though.
Oh, yeah.
So if we're doing it out of duty in those realms, I think we're okay. It won't create resentment.
Yeah.
But when we feel obligated to do it, not because it's a duty or that we think we have to get a result or to manage somebody, that will always lead to resentment. But I think you're 100% right too. It never, ever works in the erotic sense of your life.
Ever.
All right. Amy got it wrong, so she has a big fat goose egg on the board. Look at that, 0.
It's keeping score too. Wow.
All right, here we go. The next quote: when you take ownership and say, "This is mine, period," then you can venture hand in hand into the playground and collaborate what that looks like. I am going to say myself.
That was you. That was totally you.
I got it right. Yes, I like to talk about the playground. I think I
do.
gave it away.
It was playground, and then you actually read collaborate, but co-collaborate. That's one of your words.
Co-collaborate. Sorry.
You like that word.
I probably should let Amy read it all the time. She's better at reading over there. She's closer to her and better reading. But it's a great quote. You want to talk about it? Some smart guy said it.
Yeah, I wonder who that smart guy was.
But he's on the head 1-0.
Of course. He's not competitive at all.
At all. 0.
I mean, like playing spoons, I haven't almost nearly lost fingers.
We haven't played spoons in a decade because Amy's afraid to play spoons.
Yeah, because you nearly tore off my fingers.
Yeah, you got to get the spoon.
So again, I think this just piggybacks right on what we were saying, that your sexuality has to be yours. Your freedom to engage in any physical or sexual way has to be yours. And so that ownership then allows you to co-collaborate, and you can't co-collaborate unless you first have ownership. It has to be yours first, and there has to be the freedom to choose.
Yep. I agree. And it really is hard from the different perspectives. If we talk about responsive and spontaneous desires usually have a better sense of fantasy and be able to think what that playground looks like, the exact way they want it to happen, how much fun it would be if you went down that slide and then did that over there. Which I laugh because I call it a playground, but you know that playgrounds actually make me sick.
I was going to say, in real life, you actually hate playgrounds, and I actually love them.
Is it funny? Like, I don't know. Something as a child, I must have got sick on a playground or something, and just the smell of them make me sick. But it really is difficult in that realm because we see it so differently. Mm-hmm. And for the longest time, I started begging Amy, trying to come bring her into my playground and say, well, if you go down the slide, it would be so much fun, I promise. And she felt like she was dragged in and obligated again to do it instead of co-created with me. And when we co-create, it becomes so much better. I can't even tell you how much better it is.
The difficulty in that, though, is you can't manipulate, manage, force someone to create with you. And that really has to happen in their own time, in their own way. And sometimes that's just what that's what we're navigating in marriage, that you only have control over you. And that can be very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and it's a tough thing to be able to understand. Am I co-creating here? Or are they really participating in it? And so oftentimes when we coach people through this and when I realize, and my clients have realized, that pulling and dragging our wives into this playground has caused them angst, anxiety, even PTSD in some sense, because of the obligation they felt to actually play in that playground when they didn't have something comfortable. I remember a specific coaching client saying, we talked about stairs and making sure we don't run up the stairs and then we're at this totally turned on place, but our partner's not turned on. And she's like, I'm not scared of the stairs. I'm scared of what the hell's in that room. Like
at the top of the stairs.
What's going to happen when I get in there? And really making sure we co-create is really important. I've talked about in episodes too, where when I realized this and had some angst against it, I tried to shut that side off on me. I'm like, okay, so that's bad. Which, if you know me, that's not a shock because I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of guy. And so I'm like, then we're going to go to nothing. And Amy would come to me and go like our sex life's so boring. What happened?
Where'd you go?
Where'd it go? You're not engaged anymore. So I realized that part was okay as long as when it came to the moment, I brought myself to the present moment with breathing, touching, rethinking, bringing mind. I'm here with Amy. I'm not going to forecast what's going to happen here, but we can play in these realms. I can seed things with her, but I'm not going to put expectation on it. And it changed a lot of things. So, all right. I think we're tied now, right? Oh no, that was only number 2. I'm still ahead.
You're ahead.
All right. Just kidding. I wanted to try to make you feel good, but I was wrong. All right. Next one.
Oh, this could be either of us. The more you remove demands, the more there's actual freedom to enjoy. I'm going to say me.
All right. She's going with herself.
Woohoo!
And that is right.
And this came from episode 80, Understanding the Differences of Spontaneous and Responsive Desire. And in this episode, we were talking about how there needs to be differences, that in eroticism and sexuality, the gap between you is where the mystery and the eroticism and the passion lives. The gap is your differences. And sameness actually closes that gap and decreases eroticism and passion. And so when you're not threatened by the differences, you actually use those differences. Eroticism, passion, they really like differences. It thrives in those differences and polarities and in opposites and highs and lows and, dominance and submission and all of these different, good, bad type context and themes. And so removing demands allows there to be those differences, and then it allows there to be freedom to enjoy who you are and who your spouse is.
Yeah. I don't think I could add anything better than that. It really is. Not an easy concept to really grasp. I mean, it's easy to understand, like, okay, I see that. But in the exercise of it, it's very difficult at the time because I spent a lot of years looking at the differences and trying to fix Amy to be like me. And it was destroying our intimate relationship in the erotic bucket because every time I did it, poof, there went eroticism.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you're finally on the board. Makes me feel better.
It didn't give you your second point, though.
I haven't done one yet. We have bugs in our little tool here. Well,
Okay.
Go ahead and read it so I don't read it wrong.
The paradox in that is you can't make someone choose you. Really, the only thing you have power over is your choosing.
I'm going to go with myself. No!
We're tied.
Dang it. Amy said that in episode 80. Understanding differences. I think this goes along with what we're talking about, right? You can't force someone to do anything. And when
it's maddening and frustrating.
Yeah, and I get why we go there, right? Because we're really seeking to be chosen. And when we don't see those things that we believe are the signs of being chosen, we go to all kinds of crazy lengths to get there. And we look for reasons that we should have them choose us and try to manipulate them to choose us. I think I talked about in the last episode, having a client finally realize, man, I have never had sex with my wife without having her be sold on it or manipulated into it. And why that was like a heart-wrenching quote. It hit home with me because I spent a lot of years trying to do that. And so it really is the free choosing that we desire. And when we try to force someone into or manipulate someone into it, that choosing is not free.
They actually can't choose you. And so again, you can never make someone choose you, but when you're in those behaviors of control, manipulating and so on, that actually blocks the other person from being able to choose you. So it pretty much guarantees. So we can't guarantee that your spouse will choose you, but we have a really high probability that if you engage, like all of us do when we feel like we're out of control and our anxiety goes up, in the manipulating, earning, demanding, pressuring, etc., that pretty much guarantees that they won't be able to choose you. Yeah. So
yep, absolutely. And it's crazy because we spend all that time doing that. I think another thing that we love to do and spend time doing, especially as a spontaneous partner, is we love hiding parts of ourselves. And we only show the best part of ourselves. Again, it's that salesperson tactic of, oh, look at all this good stuff. And I did that for a good 17 years. And Amy couldn't choose me because she didn't know who I was. She only knew what I wanted her to see. That's kind of
so that's another kind of manipulative tactic, though, right? I'll only show you what I think is good.
All right, we're tied 1-1. Dang it, here we go.
The minute defensiveness enters, it becomes a war. And once it's a war or a power struggle, you both lose.
This is an easy one. Who is it? No one can see you if they're listening, pointing to yourself.
Oh, sorry, me. But you're supposed to say that.
No, it's your guess.
No, it's yours.
No, look, it says right here, it's your turn.
Oh, it's me.
That is correct. Shoot, now Amy's up. Dang it. This is so true. The minute you become defensive, that's when the war starts.
And once you're in that defensive posture, everyone loses because you won't actually get to what you're really talking about. Because usually the surface issue that started the conflict isn't what you're really talking about. And so you get defensive over that. You never get to an underlying or the core root of what's going on. And so what happens is you just get more angry, more hurt, more blame, more, like throwing attacks. And so both people just come out more wounded and everyone loses.
I think that also the other thing around this is when you're doing that defensiveness, it's really your ego you're trying to protect, right? So that ego is saying, wait a minute, what that person is saying is a frontal attack on me, so I'm going to be defensive about it. And we like to say also, you can either protect your ego or you can have a relationship, right? And we spend a lot of effort and time protecting our egos. And it's a true sign that we're emotionally immature and can't be in that differentiated relationship because we're going to protect that ego instead of being curious and trying to understand where the other person's coming from. So the antidote to this defensiveness is, by the way, curiosity.
As you like to say, double down on curiosity.
Double down, baby. Maybe that will show up on my next book.
I know.
Here we go. I'm down.
Okay. This is you.
Wait, no, don't. That's my turn, Chance. Read it.
In order for there to be intimacy and to have choice, there has to be a risk. There has to be the option that they, meaning your spouse, might not choose you.
I'm saying this is Amy. You think I'm right or wrong? I got it right. That is Amy. What a great quote.
Well, thanks. I think it's what we've just been talking about, right? Like you have to have the risk of choice. It sucks because you can't control the other person. But yet, in order for them to be able to choose you, they have to have enough freedom to choose. And in the middle, there are all the manipulation, losing strategy tactics we try to do to get them to choose us. And we don't want to face the option that they actually have the choice, and that means they may not.
We talk about like people say they want intimacy, but they're really not willing to pay the price of intimacy, which is that exposure.
That high risk.
Yep, the high risk. All right. At least we're tied again. I was a little worried there for a second.
Okay, so this is me.
Yeah. You see right here, we'll highlight who it is.
Okay, got it. This is totally you. We've come to learn that it's really hard to change a marriage. You got to change individuals, and then the marriage changes. This is you.
You think?
Yeah. Said by Greg.
That is right.
Episode 97, Bodies, Intimacy, and Authentic Growth. And you were talking about transformation has to start within you, and that comes first. And that's what then has the opportunity to change a marriage.
Yeah, it's so easy to see the flaws and reasons why the other person should change. And it goes back to one of the things we kind of said before too, where it talked about when we don't understand that differences is actually where the eroticism comes from. We think the only way to have them choose us and to enjoy our sexual relationship or our intimate relationship is to have them look like us, right? And I spent all that time trying to get fix Amy to look like me. But in reality, the hard thing is that you can't change that person, right? You have no control over what they do. And that's the struggle or the paradox you have in them. And so when we coach people, we talk a lot about there's only one thing we can work on, and really it's you and that side of the equation. And oftentimes it's so easy. We start picking on the other person. It's very obvious. And we look at them, and I'll have to pause and ask who I'm coaching. I'm like, can you control that? And they're like, nope. The great thing is when you focus on yourself, you can control that part of it, and you can implement the change that you're trying to or desiring to have. And by the way, no matter what happens in that relationship, that's something that you've gained for yourself that no one can take from you. And I oftentimes I don't know what's going to happen in this relationship. I can't guarantee whether it's going to stay together, whether it's not going to stay together. And I can't guarantee that the other person is going to change. But what I can tell you is we can give you the tools to change yourself. And with that, that's something you can take with you no matter what happens in the relationship.
Yes. There is more likelihood that if you change, and that change means improvement or self-development or having more emotional regulation, that's a change we're referring to, that couples are often in like a dance pattern. And when that's a negative dance pattern, but both of you know the steps and you act it out really well, when one spouse decides to change, to level up, to develop themselves, the dance changes. And what it does is it presents an opportunity for the other spouse.
Yep.
So in that opportunity, there's chance, there's possibility, there's likelihood that then the marriage system, the marriage dance can change. But again, nothing is guaranteed because you're dealing with two people who have agency and you can never take that agency away from either one.
Yeah, I often say, get the hell out of your own way, right?
Right.
And this is a little bit part of that too, is that if you change yourself and you start dancing differently, it gives space for the other one to step into. Oftentimes we've cut off that space or smothered the other person, they have nowhere to go. And so they're never going to step in because you've blocked them from doing that. If we look back of how I went after Amy in our sexuality, there's no way she could have stepped in and chosen her own desires and learned her own sexuality because I did not give her room to do that. One of my favorite stories is about the sex toy that you came to me one time and said, I saw this sex toy online. I heard that it's like really good and it should, it's great. And I literally pulled the car over. We were driving and I parked and I started trying to find a store to buy
I thought it would be safe driving that I could actually have a conversation about something without him taking over it.
We stopped. We were driving and I stopped. It was so ridiculous. But that's a perfect example of me owning that so much and my own behavior so much that Amy couldn't even step in there. And it was me getting out of the way and going and fixing my own problems and taking care of my own things that gave that space to Amy to step in. And it's a great toy, by the way. Send me an email. I'll send you which one it is.
Thanks, babe.
Yep. Because Amy doesn't want to send you which one it is.
Next. All right. This is you, but I'll read it for you. Whenever you're trying to take something so complex and narrow it down to 5 things, you're never going to be able to fully understand the complexities about it.
Ooh, this sounds really smart. So I want to go you.
No, this sounds like,
You're going to help me?
No.
I
think you should choose me.
I'm going to go me. I'm going with Amy's gut. Yeah. Thank you.
It's the way it's worded. It's just you.
Okay. You're a cheater.
It's just your language.
How'd you get the first one wrong then?
Because I don't, it was a rare you quote.
Rare me quote? It sounded smart. It was rare you.
So this one came from episode 24, Unpacking Love Languages, which if you know us, you know that we don't love narrowing down a whole entire marriage, the capacity to love and know someone to 5 boxes. And saying, I can only receive love in this way, because I think that really not only limits your capacity to receive, but also to give. And that's what this quote is referring to. When you take something so complex as learning to really know, love, cherish someone, and narrow it down to 5, like I can only love you in this one of 5 ways, or this is the top way. It's like putting it in a small container that won't allow you then to grow.
Yeah. I think one of the things I talked about, and I won't get exactly right, but at the end of it, I kind of had an aha. I said, yeah, go buy the book and read it and then question everything that if you come up with this, why am I putting myself in this box and trying to get someone to love me in this way? Again, it's that manipulation that we're talking about is when you're trying to change someone to look at you in a different way so that they choose you. To me, this is one of those ways. And we're so complex as human beings that we even change day for day. That's what we talk about when we talk about having sexual intimacy and encounters, that you can't rinse and repeat, because in that moment there's things going on, especially in the responsive desires person, as they warm themselves up and get context around it. That context can change and can change the desire pattern in that moment. And that's how complex we are. So if we say like, if you physically touch me, I'll be happy for the rest of my life. I just don't think it's going to help us move forward. If we can understand how complex we are and be curious about where other people are coming from, then we can decide how we can take that information and use it to better our intimate relationships.
And I think one thing that, like a lesser strategy that all of us are so prone to, is tracking. And when you get into a framing like this, what you'll start doing is like, oh, they did this nice thing, but that didn't count because it's the wrong love language. And they didn't do this thing, that's my love language. And you start tracking your spouse instead of allowing yourself to expand and receive and see the effort. And so that's where the transactional starts to come in, right? Like, you didn't give me enough physical attention or words of affirmation or gifts of service. And that's the only way I can be loved. And so it's really easy to turn on the tracking mindset. And when we start tracking our spouse, it's never in a good way, right? It's only to justify, like our superiority, or that we're more right, or we're more generous, or they should be doing this and they're not. So I think one of the traps in this is it really turns on that tracker, and that tracker just causes damage.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing we love to do as human beings is measure ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. And the unfortunate thing, when you do it in humanality and sexuality, you have to put someone above or below you to measure it. And that never is an intimate thing. If we're true intimate partners, we're not measuring against each other. But it's such a human nature thing. Where am I at? I need something to measure.
Yeah. So don't track or transact. It really limits you.
All right. Good thing I listened to Amy, as always.
We're tied 3-3.
Right,
okay.
Amy's turn.
This one's for me. Personal integrity is more important than anything else. You have to have a whole self to be able to be engaged intimately with someone else. This sounds like me.
You said it smart again. It's me.
Oh,
man! That is
wrong.
me. Woo, 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 woo.
That's awesome. This came from Purity Culture again. Autonomy and Healthy Sexuality, number 92. You were sharing why personal integrity and self-ownership are so necessary for deep connection.
Yeah, it really is that vulnerability and ability to be able to realize that you're human and there's some things that you're working on to make yourself better. I'm trying to say this the right way because I got smacked last time I said this by
Tony
Overbay. So what's the right way to say it?
Keep going. I'll smack you down if you get it wrong. No, I don't want to get smacked.
I used to say, and I got smacked by Tony, is like, we're 50% great and then we suck 50% of the time. And so we just need to realize that that's part of being human.
Right. And what I would say is you would recognize, that you're developing and you have strengths. Like there's the paradox of holding both, right?
Yes.
And you're unfinished, and there are things about you that are amazing and definitely have been developed.
And so when we can see that clearly, that we are developing, and be curious about those development states. And I think Tony did put it right. Like, I wonder, that's strange. I wonder why I went that way, or I said it this way. And not meaning there's something wrong with you or that you're broken, but you can be open and honest with that. I think that, again, that integrity of showing who you really are in the moment is what really brings us intimacy.
I think the ability to confront yourself, which is one of the hardest things I think all of this work taught me. And part of that is the emotional regulation, right? Like as the emotions come up, that's when the self-confrontation happens. And why is it this emotion out of all the emotions possible? And what is this emotion trying to teach me or show me or protect me from? Or what am I afraid of? And so forth. And it's such a vulnerable space to be. It's so much easier to say, like, no, you're wrong and you just need to do this. And to just use that emotion as a weapon, like against you or your spouse, than it is to like open yourself up and see, okay, what's going on in here. But as you do, that's where you uncover the parts of you maybe that you absorbed or picked up or marinated in that don't align with your integrity. And I think that's the scary part of it, is like opening up to see what's inside. And yet it's the empowering part, because that's when you actually can shift into what is out of alignment and make it in alignment with your integrity.
Yeah, it goes back into understanding how our brains function and work, right? If we stay in that primitive side of that brain and we allow it to drive that, it's going to find the reasons why not, right? And it's going to tell us things to try to protect us that may not be true. And it's that curiosity that will drive us to engage ourselves and to say, question, what does that really mean about me? Or what do I really think about that? And when we can't do that, we can't get to our logical side of our brain. We're really hijacked by that primitive side of the brain, and it just acts out of emotions purely and no logic at all.
And that's another important point. Like, emotions are definitely messengers, but they're definitely an
invitation. Make who you are, yeah.
Well, they're an invitation to look into you, but that doesn't mean that the information behind that emotion is like correct, or the belief that it brought up is correct, or that it's justified. Like, I remember resentment opened me up a lot, and I found a lot of judgy parts of me that I really didn't want to see, and yet were necessary for me to confront. And I found a lot of hesitant parts of me, parts that were afraid to speak up, or afraid to take up space, or afraid to have a voice. And again, it's kind of scary to see those and recognize, oh yeah, like I really need to speak up here. That's scary. In actively dealing and working in this every day, not only on my own, but with clients, I know why we're scared, or I know why we're hesitant to step into those emotions. And yet that act of stepping into them helps us gain so much empowerment to be in integrity. And that integrity gives the relationship a possibility even to form and exist and be strengthened.
It's crazy how the one thing that we fear the most is the place that will go to help us the most too. And we often see when clients are really hesitant or fearing something and willing to be courageous and step into it. By the way, we always say courage sucks in the moment.
It does. It does.
Painful is that's when you say, okay, they're going to change. You can almost write it on the wall at that point. Like, I don't know if this is going to get where we want to go, but at least there's change coming because they're willing to step into that fear.
Yeah. And again, sometimes that honesty with yourself is just downright revealing, exposing, and vulnerable. And it can be hard to see. All
right. I get an opportunity to take the lead. Here we go. This is mine.
This is your quote. I mean, this is your turn, not your quote. So much touch and affection and even sexuality becomes tied to outcomes. And that blocks eroticism, because eroticism has to be free and flexible.
Tough one.
Do, 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 do.
What do you think?
You tell me what you think.
And we won't go in there again.
I'm not saying a word.
I think it's me. I'm going to go me. Oh!
I knew it was me. It was me.
Just when I had a chance to take the lead.
That's awesome. This was episode 74 on savoring and versus repeating, navigating the morning after. This is when we were talking about how when maybe something went well and then you're like trying to rinse and repeat it. But we were also talking about anytime we take outcomes into intimacy and eroticism or into the bedroom, it literally, again, it has to have freedom. It has to have space. It has to have differences. And so outcomes just smother that.
Yes. It was so hard for me to learn that if I put an outcome on something, that it just smothers the ability to create in that moment, co-create in that moment. And that's where I talk about really becoming present myself and saying, hey, I'm just going to enjoy what's happening right now. And it's become a very big thing for me.
That was also a really touchy word for us for a long time.
Which one?
Smother.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. Especially in our like early marriage, when I'd say, I just feel smothered, and you'd be like, I'm just trying to love you. What's wrong with you?
Friends?
Yes.
Well, you have me. What's your problem?
Yes, it was as touchy as that.
All right. Let's see what we got here. That's it. I got 3 right out of 5, and you got 3 out of 5. We tied. It's like kissing your sister. That's disgusting.
There's more quotes, right?
No, there's only 20 right now. I may make it so there's more that we can go through. But yeah, that was fun.
Thank you. That was a fun surprise.
I was hoping that we could take a little journey back through our podcast over the last 99 episodes as we're recording number 100. And it was interesting how there was a lot of things that played off each other, but there was common threads to them all.
Mm-hmm.
And how we started to sound like each other, I guess.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I thought for sure I was going to, here goes the pride. And now I'm humbled. I thought for sure I'd be able to tell the language difference between us.
There you go. There you go. Well, we really appreciate you joining us on this podcast and this journey. It goes back to, I remember starting this whole thing and not even knowing if we're going to get through 5, 4, 1. I didn't know what it was going to be like. And being so curious to be able to say what it was going to be like and trying to figure out the equipment and what we're going to do and how we're going to post it. And they've really become a blessing to me. I guess I'll speak for myself.
No, me too. It's been a fun weekly gathering that we've invited all of y'all in, where we kind of just download what's on our mind and what's been in our clients' hearts, and maybe questions that have come in and experiences that we're going through. So thank you for being a part of this journey.
And I have no idea what the end looks like, right? Or what comes next. We're just going to keep doing this.
We're doing the erotic way. No outcome. We don't know.
Outcome driven. So this might be the first of 500, 1,000, or it might be 102. I don't know. There might be 2 more left. We don't know. We don't plan on that. We plan on keep on doing it because we love it, but we're just going to enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah.
And we would love it again. We're going to go to the podcast. There'll be a link there. It will be langfordlifecoaching.com/100 for our 100th episode.
Spelled out in the numbers? Like 100?
It's going to be 100. Yeah.
Okay.
Not spelled out. Thank you for clarifying that for us. We'll go to that link and we'll send you an email so that you can actually get the coupon that will give you 25% off and sign up for 3 free sessions if you win those. And we'll put this fun little game link in there too that you can go play. I would love to hear who's better than us. We obviously can't figure it out
ourselves. Does it generate
ourselves.
New quotes every time?
I think I can make it do that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's because you want to go play it again?
Yeah. Like
Look at the competitiveness in Amy. She's not competitive and she's like, I got to go beat you.
I want to see what else we said.
No, I think she just wants to beat me. She's like, I can't believe we tied. But I'll put this in there too so you guys can go play. It'll be fun. And we'd love to hear what you think about it and if anyone dispute their spouse. And actually, if you go to the first of it, I didn't show Amy the first of it, you can do it solo. So you can play solo or you can play with your partner. You know, that's always good to be able to play solo or with your partner. And then there's a time blitz that I haven't even tried yet. We'll have to see that. It only gives you 15 seconds to answer.
Ooh. And see that there were several times you took way more than 15
Oh, yeah.
seconds.
You started doing Jeopardy countdown. I heard it
Yes.
over there in your silly way. But hopefully you'll enjoy that. And thank you so much. Until next time.
Keep undressing your intimacy.
Bye-bye. All right. Amy was so upset that it was a tie. She doesn't like to kiss her sister. That she made me go back and she found there were some other ones that she wanted to do. So we're going to go back through here and we're going to try a few other ones to see if we can get rid of this tie. So it's Amy's turn.
I was upset that it was a tie.
Yeah. You kept on saying, we got to go more. All right. Here's the quote.
Depression is worrying about the past and what happened, and anxiety is worrying about the future and the things we can't control.
Who said that?
Me?
No, that was me. I remember saying this one.
Oh, yeah, because it came from your comedian guy.
Yes. Jim
Yes,
Carrey.
in episode 77, Growth and Boundaries. What was it? Yeah, you heard a comedian talk about it.
Yes. I think it really is putting perspective on what it is. Those things we can't control. We talked about it before, right? When we can't control it, it's going to cause anxiety or depression. All right. Well, now I know that I'm going to win. Here we go. All I got to do is get this one, and
I know who said this.
And I win.
Okay, Greggy, this is for you. Tracking and scorekeeping doesn't ever lead to progress or development. It just leads to punishing yourself or someone else.
That's me.
Yeah.
No!
I knew that.
We're tied again. 0-0. We're striking out. Goose eggs.
I knew that was me. No, but really, we kind of talked about this before, but the minute you go into a tracking mindset, that's really got to be a red flag that you are looking outside of you and using your spouse or their behaviors or something else to try and control the inner part of you. And it never works. So that tracking is that indicator of that. And instead, you've got to turn your sights back on you and yourself and what's in your control. Yeah, that's tracking is a sign that the locus of control has moved outside of you. Yep. And it doesn't work.
This is sudden death. So the next one to score a point wins.
Okay. Sudden death. We already know this one.
Did we already do this one?
Yeah, that's yours. So you got to pick another one.
I don't know. There's no way to skip.
Oh.
All right.
That one doesn't count. We'll keep going. Okay. This one.
So it'll be for you still.
Okay. This one's for me. Emotions are informational. They're not permanent, and we have choice. Just because you have an emotion does not mean you should act on it.
Who said that?
That was me.
And Amy wins. Stop kissing your sister. Although the screen says we're tied.
It says you, but that's only because it brought up a quote we already did.
Actually says tied because there's 1-1.
Yes, emotions, again, invite us to look inside ourselves. They aren't necessarily accurate, meaning like you can feel really justified when you're totally in the wrong, or you can feel really angry when it's actually your fault. But they are that invitation to look inside of you and get more curious and see what's going on. And without those indicators to look inside of you, you can't ever, again, update, adjust, revise, whether that was an experience, a belief, something you need to let go of, something that is an old coping strategy that needs to be updated. It's used its a capacity. And so they are like the indicator that says, hey, there's something for you to look at here.
All right, winner, chicken dinner. What do I have to do to you? For you now.
I'll tell you later.
All right. I will keep that one a secret.